underwater city that they had in Aquaman. Well, first of all, there were multiple nations around.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Atlantis is supposedly the domain of Poseidon. This is where he stayed, and he met a nice young lady, you know what I'm saying, took her out for some mead, and then they messed around and had 10 kids all at once. She had 10 kids, just popped them all out. That's actually not what happened, but supposedly she had 10 kids, and this is
She
all from...
deca-mommed?
Why do you know the word for 10? Is it really deca?
Yeah.
Okay. But I liked how in Aquaman they had these different, it felt like different parts of the cities or different cities when they were going through trying to recruit the other generals or other leaders of these cities. And it was cool to see the technology that they had. Like they were still swimming, but they also had stuff that they would fly or like they would push your stuff with. The thing that did me up in Aquaman is like they were just talking regularly. Like,
yes.
And there were no bubbles. It was like, all right, hold up, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean to tell me like when you say a B word, ain't no bubble gonna come with a B or a P word? But your majesty, nah, bitch, why ain't no bubbles right there?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that was the only part that kind of threw me off, but I digress. Now, I love the technology they had. I feel like that was a nod to Atlantis because Atlantis was supposed to be one of those cities that was like highly technological, super advanced. That all checks out. So that's what we're talking about today. We're jumping all the way into Atlantis. We're going to talk about if it was real, what proof we might have to support this, or if it influenced different movies or shows or stories. We're going to talk about anybody that believes it is real, what supporting evidence they have. And we're also going to talk about where it might be if it had been real.
Yeah.
You know where it started based on Plato's allegory. It was somewhere around the Atlantic Ocean, but this is during the time of Pangea. So this is one big ass continent, tectonic plate shifting, earthquakes, volcanoes, time, erosion. There's no telling where it could be, but we're going to jump into all of that in this episode. So kick back, get you a nice little J, you know what I'm saying, a little edible. Remember to do your research afterwards because, again, this is all allegedly, but we finna jump into it a little bit right here, man.
So if you, actually, this is a good one. Drop it in the comments. Do you think Atlantis is real? And then drop a double in the comments if we change your mind by the end of this episode. Let us know.
Quick, if you do drop that in the comments,
nice.
I would love for you to drop a timestamp in there so we can see like what point of the episode or what factoid or what allegedly got you to switch your mind and had you coming over to the other side.
I love that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Timestamp that bitch.
First, we got to talk about Plato's allegory.
Let's talk about it.
He's done some writing.
He has. He always pops his little ass up in here.
Always does. He's in all the episodes mostly. So he's always writing things, as we all know. And in this one, you touched on it. He wrote an allegory, which we'll actually go into a lot through this episode because some of it turns out maybe it's not an allegory. It could be fact.
Yeah. But just for clarification, we have to say this because this is part of allegedly as well. Allegory is not history. Okay, so don't get the two mixed up. Allegory is something that somebody came up with, they wrote, and it has been in place for a while, but it is not history. You won't find this in any of the history books that this actually happened. This is something that he came up with.
You really want to go down a history rabbit hole?
I don't necessarily
History's written by the winners.